Today we're going to be cooking meatballs. Please ensure that you've got no jewellery or watches or anything and your hands are thoroughly clean. I've prepared the two different parts of this dish. First of all, the meatballs. We need 250 grams. We did say minced beef, but I prefer to cook with turkey. 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs and 1 clove of garlic. For my sauce, I'm using Italian chopped tomatoes, which have also got a little extra onion and garlic in it for a little extra flavour. The caster sugar, the garlic clove, the quarter of an onion and the quarter of a pepper. So first, after you've washed your hands and made sure your area is clean, laid out all your ingredients, you've got your method and you've got your success criteria, the next thing you need to do is to make sure that you've heated the oven to 200 degrees centigrade. Then you're going to put your mince into a bowl. Now I'm going to be using an oven-proof dish to cook mine into to save myself washing up, and also obviously the stuff can be cooked into it. So I've put my mince in there. I'm going to break an egg into a jug. And then I'm going to be adding my herbs, my breadcrumbs and my garlic all into this bowl. If you haven't prepared your chopped garlic at home, then you're going to need to do that at this point before you add this in and before you get your hands really messy. Make sure that you beat your egg. And that goes into this mixture too. This is why it's important to have clean hands, because you're now going to mix all of this together. So it is going to feel a bit icky, but we're all big girls and boys now, aren't we? So we can cope with it feeling a little bit unpleasant. I'm sure you all enjoyed playing with slime when you were a little bit younger. Maybe some of you even enjoy playing with slime now. As you can see, it's a bit messy. I've got a couple of bits of the mince on my method. Don't worry, just try to keep it on the table and not on the floor, because that will be an extra clear up for yourself. Right, you can see that I've managed to mix all that together. Now it just looks like one big mixture. We're now going to roll these into 12 equal balls. So because I'm using my dish, I'm pushing mine to one side. Now if I get one section of it together and roll it in my hand, I'm happy with that sort of size meatball. Consider the dish that you're making and consider portion control. So how many meatballs you're going to give each person. So I'm considering obviously 12 is going to go nicely into 4. So similar size again. I've got that nice and round. What you'll notice happening is that the egg in the mixture is acting like a kind of glue, a kind of binding agent. That's what we're using the egg for. The breadcrumbs obviously become part of that kind of gluey, sticky mixture. I think I might be getting slightly large here. I might have to redivide these. Let's go for a slightly smaller one. Yeah, I think I'm going a little bit on the large side, so let me go a bit smaller. I'm going to take some off. It's important to keep your portion control. So it is okay to go back and have another go at reshaping these. You can't overwork these like you can with pastry. Remember when I'm telling you with the scones and when we're making pizza to be careful that you're not overworking it, because you're going to lose elasticity. That won't happen with these. Right, let's go for our 6th one here. Right, I am about halfway through the mixture now. So there's another one. And another one. Just rolling them around my hand, making sure I'm picking up the mixture. So I've now got 9. Oh, 10 and 11 I've got here. I haven't actually got a lot of room in my bowl. That's probably because some of them are slightly on the larger side. So I'm going to pinch bits from this one because he's a little bit large. A little bit from this one because he's a little bit large. Rolling them round again, trying to keep their shape. a little bit from this one, he's a little bit large, and there I have my 12. So I do have to adjust my spacing inside my bowl. Of course, you can line a baking tray with foil. I'm just using an oven-proof dish because later on I'm going to be pouring my sauce onto my meatballs. But you can pour your sauce onto your meatballs in the container that you wish to take them home in, or you can add the meatballs to the saucepan. So now I need to transfer these to the oven, but of course my hands are dirty, so I now need to wash my hands. It is a good idea to have your sink filled with water and the washing up liquid or the hand wash nearby. Done that. So now I'll be getting my oven gloves and transferring my meatballs to the preheated oven to 200 degrees. At this point, I suggest taking your equipment that you've used for that section and placing it in your washing up bowl where you've already put hot water in. Now we move on to the sauce. Now the meatballs are going to take 25 minutes, so you have got time to wash up the different pieces of equipment that you've just used for the meatballs, okay? Re-wipe your side down and restart again. So right now we're going to move on to the sauce. So this is step 7 now on our method. We've got chopped onion, which we're going to add to the saucepan. Make sure I get all the bits out. We've got garlic, another clove of garlic crushed or chopped, depending on how fine you like your garlic. And then a pepper, finely chopped. I've got a quarter of a pepper. I've gone for a mixture of red and green and yellow because I like a little bit of variety in my pepper flavourings. The yellow tends to be a sweeter pepper. The red one is quite a strong pepper and the green one is a little bit sharper. I like to use green pepper in madrasses, red in chilies and yellows in salad, but I enjoy all three in my pasta sauce. So now what we're going to do is fry these until they're soft. So if I transfer these to a low temperature hob top and allow those to fry at a low temperature. Once they're soft, I'm going to be adding in my chopped tomatoes, which can be a tin of chopped tomatoes, or it can be like this one, a passata, which is a finer blend. Chopped tomatoes still has chunks of tomatoes inside it. If you haven't got chopped tomatoes, you can buy a tin of peeled tomatoes, and then you'll need to chop up the tomatoes within the tin, and you can use those. Or if you don't like chunks of tomatoes, I've got a toddler who obviously can be put off by some large sized vegetables. So passata works really well there. She loves that. And all of this is a tin of chopped tomatoes. It's been blended. They've added a hint of onion and garlic there, which we like the extra taste. So if I open this in preparation, and I'm going to go and add my 1 teaspoon of caster sugar to my onions and peppers and garlic that's cooking. I did say a tear top, but I've used kitchen scissors. So caster sugar, the sugar that you put in tea, that's the sugar we're using, and 1 teaspoon. That's gone in. That just helps take off the extra sour, tangy sharpness that you can sometimes get with tin tomatoes. That's what the sugar's for. Let's go back to the pan and see if our vegetables have softened. You're not looking to burn these, you're looking to get them nice and soft. So I haven't used any oil there at all, so no added fat, that's just the onions, the pepper, the garlic, and obviously I've just added a little bit of sugar. So they are nice and soft now, not burnt, but soft. If ever you feel that you're overcooking vegetables, just remove them from the heat for a couple of minutes and then they'll be ready to take the next stage. So don't let those onions sizzle. I'm now going to go and add I'll bring the pan back over here actually. I'm going to add my tomatoes to the pan. While you're doing this, keep an eye on the time of your meatballs, because obviously you do not want them to overcook. You can check on them, you can even turn them if you feel that one side is getting too brown. There you go, so I've added my tomatoes there to my onions and vegetables, and I'm now going to go and continue to cook those. This will be another good point in the lesson to tidy up your workstation. So make sure that you're collecting all your bits together. This carton can't be recycled. That's one drawback of using this kind of product. Obviously a tin can be washed out and put in the recycling. This is a Tetra Pak, which is cardboard, but it's plastic on the outside and foil and plastic on the inside. It means it's not recyclable. So now I need to clean up my method, because I left some lovely bits of mince on there. And that of course will need chucking in the bin, as I've just put turkey mince. And there's of course a cross-contamination issue there. So this, my side is clean, my washing up is in the bowl, apart from my pan, my spoon and my oven-proof dish, which is in the oven with my meatballs in. Back to the pan. It's slowly starting to bubble, so you're looking for the odd 1 or 2 bubbles there, and not lots and lots of bubbles. If you're having lots of bubbles, that's boiling. You want to turn down the heat so it's simmering. The odd pop, pop, pop of a bubble rather than pop, 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 which is what boiling looks like. I'm also going to check on my meatballs now as well. And they're beginning to brown slightly. So at this point, I can turn them over and replace them in the oven. Once my sauce is complete and it's hot and my meatballs are cooked, I'm going to pour my sauce over the meatballs, and then I'm going to add chopped cheese to the top of mine, or grated cheese if you prefer it a bit finer, and then I'll be placing it back in the oven to give it a nice little cheesy crust to it, and then obviously be cooking the accompanying pasta. I will be uploading this as a separate picture so that you can see the finished product, rather than you standing here listening to my voice whilst we wait for the meatballs and the sauce to cook down. Now it's time to create your success criteria from the method, the success criteria on the board, and this video.